The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel is written to us by Matthew. I'm going to read the shorter version if you're following along in your missalettes. Frankly, because the longer version sounds like a very sophisticated form of capitalism, and that's not the message. Christianity is not spiritual capitalism, although a lot of us have understood it that way. So let's read from Matthew 25. Jesus told his disciples this parable. A man going on a journey called in his servants, and he entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third 1, each according to his ability to receive. And then he went away. After a long time, the master came back, and he settled accounts with each of them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing an additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you even greater responsibilities. Come, share in your master's joy." This is the gospel of the Lord. Okay, let's spend just a few minutes with it. Because as I said, to read it in a superficial way simply sounds like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's American capitalism. That's not the gospel. In fact, the gospel is exactly the opposite. But the language is subtle. It's sort of saying what you seek is what you're going to get. People who expect a lot of themselves tend to produce a lot. That's just true. And that's good. I think the great sadness is, for many of us, and I've seen it in myself, is on my not-so-good days, I expect very little of myself. I just get on cruise control and go through the motions. You know what I'm talking about. You could say a large percentage of humanity just goes through the motions. And they don't expect much, they don't get much, and not much happens around them. So he's trying to encourage us to a kind of high expectation of life, of ourselves. We're living in a time, as I think you know, where our country is being encouraged to circle the wagons into small groups, and each group defend itself from all the others. Each group assert its own nationality, its own ethnicity, its own religiosity. This was never the plan of America. America was, as we even say on our dollar bills of all places, e pluribus unum, to make one out of many. To not stay with the many, but to make the many into one. But we're losing the ability to know how to do that. We're calling it culture wars. And it dominates almost our entire politics. It dominates many people's worldview. And frankly, it's why so much of America is so angry and so small today. Because we don't know how to be, what I told you at the beginning, a truly Catholic people. I'm sure you've been told Catholic means universal. And this name was taken by the Christian people as early as the year 108. They said, we're going to be a universal religion, where everybody's welcome, where everybody's equal, where everybody's the same, and we don't assert our specialness, our separateness, or our superiority. And here we are, 2,000 years after Christ, and everybody is retreating into their specialness, their separateness, and their superiority. Brothers and sisters, this will be the death of America. It will also be the death of the gospel. It is not our vision. But unless we are willing to break out of business as usual, and I think that's the real message of the gospel, he's telling us to be risk takers, to go outside our comfort zones. Now, we all have them. I have them too. But you're going to recognize you're never going to become a generous person, a person that's larger than life and death, which is what Christianity is supposed to mean, if you stay inside your own little group. If you have no black friends, no white friends, no Protestant friends, no gay friends, well, I'm going to be honest, I won't expect much of you. I'm just going to be honest. You're not going to go very far in life. And I want you to count. Do any of you have black friends? Thank you for raising a few hands. A lot of hands. Hallelujah. But a lot of people don't. They just stay in their little group and they remain little people. I'm going to leave it at that. Because that message after 2,000 years is still not very common, and I'm sad to say, not even very popular.